Hello there, and welcome back to episode 2 of Shadowhome, the 7th season of this wonderful Banner of Shadow saga. Today, we're going to finally strike the mountain and make this place ourselves proper home. In the first episode, I have set up the basics. Seriously, we dug down a little bit. We have now a proper little warehouse. We have an irrigated little farm, because there's literally nothing growing outside there. No trees, no forageable vegetation. We're down and bound with what we got there. There's one upside though. This little brook here does provide us with fish. So we're not entirely doomed in that regard. So the plans will be quite simple. I have been thinking about how to build a proper fortress here, and it's going to be quite simple. We're going to dig our way into the mountain here, and we're going to build the actual city upstairs. I did that already before, but it is a concept I really love, especially for a mountain home. And the actual workshops, forgive me, will go downstairs. Then we are going to utilize the brook here and the old settlement, that's going to be the old settlement one day, and we're going to make here a proper gatehouse, which will basically control the entrance to the actual fortress, which will be sitting and evolving into the mountainside. At least, that's what I hope to do here. Let's get started. Going to get inside right there. I just noticed that while I was watching the video material or the map from the previous attempt, that this here, it's just such a nice place to just enter the freaking mountain, you know? There we go. So that's going to be one of the first things that we're doing for today. Let's make this a nice and wide promenade. After all, it's the entrance to our entire new home. There we go. Food and drink-wise, I think we are now really well set for a while, which is pretty nice. I will relay a lot of the industry somewhere else along the side, along the ride. But for starters right now, the way we're handling it ain't the worst. I'm actually considering making some blocks out of the stone that we're foraging, and just get ourselves the gatehouse started as one of the very first things. Tell you what, we're actually gonna do that. So, time to make some rock blocks. And on this map, I'm entirely sure and safe that we are not going to be handling too much wood. Last season, I built an entire fortress out of wood, and it was rather cumbersome. Can't tell you that. Okay, so we're going to zoom out one more time. So this is going to be something like one of the main halls. So we're going to go 4 here, 4 there. Then we're going to go a little bit like this. I'm going to make that like there. Central hall. And just like that. Here we go. Then we're going to go and get ourselves some stairwells going here. Don't know yet how we're going to use all this furthermore, but this is going to be one of our first little entry points into the mountain. So with the top blocks that we're making, we're going to get ourselves some stuff going on here. I really think I'm going to stick to my first impression, and we're just going to build that flippin' gatehouse just out of the bench. Why not? We struck shore. Nice. Alright. Some gemstone in our meeting hall. Because this is going to be our first general meeting spot. Well, okay, that didn't work out as intended. Let's wait until it is completely dug out. There we go. Meeting hall. So they're not all going to hang around the wagon anymore. It's just necessary. Okay. We also need to make ourselves a proper pasture. In this environment, everything is a little bit more difficult to prepare, I'd say. So let's do another thing right away. This is going to be one of the very first OG necessity build rooms here. And while we're at it, let's make that happen too. Get yourselves a temple. This other thing here will be a dormitory, because I really think our poor friends here need some place to rest their feet. Alright, we should be, with this farming setup, already pretty okay in terms of food and drink supply. There we go. Up here, let's get started with a proper hallway. Probably, yeah, well, yeah, delete all of that right away again. There we go. Just want to make sure that, yeah, let's make this a little bit over the top, I know, but it's the flippin' Mountainhome, alright? This place is ought to be oozing splendor from the first moment you set your feet into it. So a little bit over the top is just right, just enough to qualify, in my humble opinion. All right. So once the basic infrastructure and everything is set up, we're going to make sure that we're going to dig deep, because that's the next thing that I want to establish. I want to make sure that we got ourselves a real early access into the depths. That's where I want to source my logs from. We're using finest cavern wood for our beds and such. And imports, obviously. Can't deal without imports, but, well, such is life. Alright. So let's see, we need to set that. We're not going to use boulders nor logs, but these. So, well, they're pretty quick. 60 talc blocks already cut. Feel like I ordered that 5 minutes ago. I pretty much ordered that 5 minutes ago. Nice. Yeah, well, you see the difference between 100 FPS and 50 FPS. That's just what it is. So, to further speed up the process for our brave little friends, we're going to make a stockpile here for that talk. I mean, these poor fellas, they are working in the daylight. Luckily, they're not from the previous fortresses, otherwise they would be puking their hearts out by now. But, yeah. They got lucky, I guess. We also will whip up a bridge over the brook, which will then, furthermore, maybe I'll be deepening that, I don't know. I'd love to have a proper moat that this time works without causing unnecessary casualties. All my previous moats in the previous fortresses all had that nice gimmick of drowning dwarfs quite regularly. I want to try if I can make it without that gimmick, you know? That trick grew old quite quick on us. Anyways, we are going to make the dormitory look nice. As individual bedrooms, it'll take a while, alright? Let's put it into optimistic words and say, it'll take a while. Make that a top priority. God, I love this button so much. It's one of the most useful things out there. Thief hack in general is a hell of a useful tool. So we're ordering a 10 bed job here. And let's see. Right on. I really like what the outlook of this already. This has potential to be really beautiful. But I'm gonna make a nice road here. This whole area here in front of that, I'm not sure yet. I'll probably make towers here. There, look, these little things here. They look like they're perfect for this purpose. We'll see about that. The big goal here is to incorporate the mountain into the design as well as possible. And I probably want to make a nice hall that that encompasses several Z levels that you can watch and look into from the city. I still don't know yet how we're going to make that happen. I just came up with the idea, but that's okay. I don't need to know more than that yet. It's okay. The exact details of how we're going to do it, they'll show over the course of the time. It's always like that. If I've learned anything, then there's nothing more crippling to me than trying to figure everything out too early. It's just I don't know. This does make me extremely unproductive. That's all I want to say. Good. Let's bring in some beds into the dormitory to be, so folks can sleep somewhere. I think we also need to order another door, because I think we don't have any right now. And I also don't want to go for mass orders currently, as there's already way too much to do. I think this stockpile zone here for the top boulders is already killing the efficiency of the fort. So, yeah, we're just 11 people. I do like to see, though, that the drink stockpile is on a high number, and the plant stockpile ain't depleted. Usually that means you are on your set limit, and there's still plenty of plant material to turn into booze if necessary. Good news. In a nutshell, just a piece of good news. There we go. So with that all set up, we can finally offer our brave young friends here a dormitory. It ain't much, I know, but still better than sleeping just on the cavern floor, I guess. Even comes with a door. But okay, that's all set. Damn, I'm already pretty much in love with this place. We're even just starting out right now. So another thing on the list will be excavating the caverns, but well, I want to take it with the according time. Set up the base infrastructure is very important. Grinding all those talk blocks, yeah, it takes some time. And the worst thing here is we don't have bins to put the blocks into. So let's see. Did I order too many? Nah, 100 is not too many. 100 is totally okay. So what I'm trying to get down to, our logistical effort here behind the whole job is quite high. So the animals are hungry. They need a pasture. So we're going to go and pasture them up here. Best we can do under the current circumstances. In the long run, I'm going to tap into the brook, flood a big old chamber, and then drain it again. And the muddied ground will bring up, I hope it will bring up a place where the animals can graze and forage. That's at least the plan. Alrighty. There we go. Civilized comfort. This area here, well, it'll always stay as the old expeditionary quarter. The first mining shaft and all those things. We're gonna properly memorialize them somehow, I hope. And the rest, well, we'll see about the rest. Man. So one of the things that we need to do as quick as possible in this fort is to get our hands down onto the adamantine area. Because to found a proper mountain home, you can't do that without adamantine. You just can't. And that's one of the things that I really want to get going as quick as possible. There was a lag because a flock of chaos spawned. So yeah, those damned creatures, they drain my FPS. Okay, accursed creatures. Well, we're going to make a proper response to that. That's going to be our gatehouse. This is not necessarily the final borders of the gatehouse. It's probably just the inner corridor, which will shield the fort. But yeah, I want to get the Kea away from my goods as quick as possible, and that's why I'm putting this burden on my young fort. I know what I want from them right now. It's really a lot. Seriously a lot. But yeah, we need to do. Those flippin' chaos, they're just going to pick up everything if I let them. So, make this one top priority. Wonderful. So, let's bring in a militia commander. Let's see. And found a squad. The Earthen Moons. Oh man, what a wonderful name. Seriously. So Reg and Ast are... and Zuntir. We have 3 really, really good fighters. Dumet, you are not the right person to do this. So these 2 fellas, these are the ones. We're putting them on constant training. And their barracks are going to be here. Once the training, the construction effort is done, these guys will be brawling there all day, and if somebody wants to threaten our crafters, I hope they'll be strangling the threat. It's the best I can come up with right now. Flippin' chaos. These creatures, they are literally everywhere. Not even on the highest mountaintops you are safe from them. At least that's not the giant variant. It's, I mean, I guess that's the one consolation that we got behind all this, right? So let's redraw that stockpile to be found here. The outside area here ain't no good anymore. Getting constant lag spikes off of those 10K. They're probably pathing to my goods. The first flock of them was not so much of a nuisance as we had the caravan soldiers there. All right, our military is added. Let's see what they're doing. So the axe dwarf grabs the Kea by the wing. Right lower arm, not quite the right thing. And then he bites the leg. Alright, man. That's your axe dwarf in action, man. Bends the leg and left hip collapses. Wow. You know, they're getting down and gory on them. The axe dwarf releases the joint lock. What? Ah, he's, okay. So, Ast is definitely having a good time with that flippin' bird. Let's see if Reg is doing the same. Well, he just hacks off the entire wing. So they have arms and wings? How's that possible? I don't know. I don't even want to know. You see? There's just things that I don't need to know. Easy. We're also going to fetch ourselves a bars and blocks inventory here, which can then be accessed quicker. It's limited, but it's the best we can do. Alright, the good news on all this is I have one soldier in my ranks that is pretty much fully geared out. I took that as my starting equipment to have one of my folks geared out quite decently. Since we are now that lucky that the other bloke is just a flippin' war machine, they can do their sparring already. This guy doesn't know how it works, so it's not going to be any problem. Safety-wise, I mean. Alright, love it. So yeah, 11 dwarfs are not getting the joint built anytime too soon. But well, we are getting there. So I think, yeah, this is a good blueprint for the gatehouse. Eventually we'll be just having a retractable bridge here, or something like that. And I think I will have a bit of an extra construction here still to go, probably. I don't know, but we'll see about that. Alrighty. Yeah, there's just not much being dug out these days, as everybody is either crafting, or building, or hauling. And that's okay. Or brawling. I'm quite happy that these two guys joined our ranks. They've been really a big gift for the fort, as currently I'm not worried about anything roaming too close to my fort. If anything really dangerous would come up, I think there is a pretty high chance that Reg would be able to fight them off. She's really vicious. Military skills could be better. She's not legendary at many spots, only at observing, obviously. But I think this could be already enough to fight off something like an Etten even. I'm not sure. I never did direct experimentations, but yeah, we're good. We're doing fine, I'd say. I like this place already. A lot. So, holding myself back hard right now to not issue way too many things all at once. Currently, we cannot issue any further work orders. Maybe except for the extra beds here. Let's make that like this. Ah, nah. Nobody would want the center bed. Reals. Okay. Yeah. The biggest problem of my logistics currently is that that dudes are always carrying the talk boulders to the workshops, which is absolutely not feasible in terms of logistics efficiency. But well, currently I really have other problems on my mind rather than being worried about this. Surely we would be faster like that, but yeah, it's okay. We're gonna get done with all the jobs eventually. One thing though, I really feel like I need to sit out and find the iron that's supposed to be around here as quick as possible so we can make ourselves some iron wheelbarrows and whatnot. The real interesting challenge here is fuel. We either will be extremely lucky and get ourselves some coal, which I highly doubt though, or, well, we better find us some magma. Because we then need to import fuel as well, which would be not the worst. If we are lucky enough, or civilization might even have fuel boulders, they have the advantage that they're very lightweight, so you'll get a lot of fuel boulders even on the starting caravans. So yeah, there's options. There's options. All right, look at that. Dormitory done. Almost. You just need to smooth out the joint. So for some odd reason, you're not building the ramp. So yeah, any material is not really kicking it. Okay. For once, we're going to use a boulder. We're just rolling a boulder there, so to speak, to get the job done. I mean, I could also build a staircase, but I never want to have a opening in this roof, so to speak. This ought to stay a low building. I don't want to build anything too high here. This is the heavily guarded entrance to the actual mountain home. This thing will look gorgeous one day once it's done. My idea was also to be as to build as big as I can possibly fathom to finish. One of the biggest problems always when I'm starting to whip up Dwarf Fortress projects is to stay within a scale that is feasible. That ocean bridge I did once, that showed me where I really need to be careful about what I'm doing, and if I am actually up for that game, because it can be really, really difficult. That's all I can say. So here, our area here will be wonderfully guarded by boulders. I could also consider quarrying down here for more boulders, as the area in this vicinity, the subterranean area, well, we most likely won't use it for much, except for resource gathering. Although I think industry-wise I will relocate myself towards this place here, as I really think that this is where the party's this is where the party's starting, right? There we go. Yeah, so putting a roof over this would be not so much of a top priority if we haven't had 2 migrations of Kea already on the map. This really brings me to the point where I feel like having these 2 warriors and a roof over my head makes me already feel so much safer. I can't put it into words. And to add into the safety feeling, we're going to get ourselves this down, and I'll be just plotting in a door for the time being. We'll be removing the wall eventually, as I think this is not really what I want to do in the long run. But for starters, this will make sure that if anything attacks us, I just need to block the door, and any threat from the outside is forced through my soldiers. And that's what I want. I want to make sure that they're forced to walk through my friends here, right? Okay. Yeah, that project is still eating up a lot of time in our fort. But that's okay. It is what it is. You can't bake a cake without smashing some eggs. Very happy to see, though, the plant stockpile is even growing further. This means we're preparing easily for a larger population count now. Spring of the year 142 is rising. Temperatures here in the mountains are also getting more pleasant, I bet. And yeah, this is just the time of the game where you're just forced to wait out until you have the necessary population down. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm very, very happy about how things are working out these days. Oh yeah, the temple hasn't been excavated yet. Shoot. Well, let's increase the priority on that one. Dig downstairs a wee bit. The good stuff, you know. But I want to have that temple to Erdem ready. Praying is a very cheap thing for dwarfs to do, and you don't need to do much. Just give them what a place to pray at, and that is all you need to do to increase the local happiness. And since this civ is even so inclined to have one major religion that most of the folks here follow, it's even easier. On other civs, I usually am looking for a no specific deity temple, but since 8 of 11 people here are worshipping Erdem, why should I not go for a specified temple? You can go for non-defined temples also. That's pretty cool. Here we have an overlap with this one, but it's not a big deal. Okay. So, let's order smoothing. I think I'm going to smooth the entire floor of this place. We've struck talk. More about stuff. Game announces it as if it would be something special. Maybe I'm going to look up the DF Fortress, or the DF Wiki, and see maybe I am overlooking something. Either way, my friends, this ends a very, very pleasant and successful episode 2. We got everything a dwarf could wish for. Food, drink, a proper place to build, strong fighters, the prospect of my iron at hand, fluxstone. Well, some things could be better, but not many. So thanks for watching, you all. Drop me your comments, leave me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and check out the description box if you're craving for more Dwarf Fortress. There's a lot of fortresses that I made for this world. A grand total of 6 already, so knock yourself out, be my guest. Also feel free to support the channel if you feel like my work is worth a dime for you. That would make me extremely happy. Thanks for being around, thanks for watching this video, it means a lot to me. And thanks yet again for watching it until the very end. See you all soon, bye bye.